Welcome back to the Rewind Rewatch podcast.
That's the name.
My name's Joel. That's my name.
Okay. And I'm Andrene. That's my name.
There we go. We got a lot of names. And this is episode 56 of the Rewind Rewatch podcast. We are two siblings rewatching 90s movies to review them, give our takes on what we saw take place, and provide a rewind rating from a scale from 1 to 5 based on how likely we are to watch the movie again in the future.
That is correct. We also talk about themes.
Yep, we do.
Quotes.
Yep, we do.
Facts.
Yep, we do.
And things that did not age well.
Yes. And if you've ever watched 90s movies, folks, there's usually always at least one thing that does not age well. Not all of them, though. We've had a few that,
but most
that
times
age pretty well. So today we're talking about Rush Hour.
Mm-hmm. How
How did you feel that this movie aged?
I mean, yes, there are definitely some parts in here where they say some things that I'm sure would not be allowed today.
I feel like this premise of like the loudmouth black guy and the Chinese guy who's coming to the States for the first time and speaks very little English, it just opens itself up to a lot of... It actually could have been even more inappropriate.
Oh, it could have been.
It could have been so much worse.
For sure.
But all things considered, there's a few things in there.
But it's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. I don't think so either. All right, so before we start, this was my pick, so I think it's time for you to do the one-sentence summary.
You always forget we have to shout out who requested it first.
Okay. Do we have to? All right, let's do it.
Hey!
First. No, I'm saying we could have done it second.
No.
I think you're just giving yourself more time.
I like
to come
structure.
up with the one-sentence summary
structure.
because she doesn't know what she's going to say.
No.
So she's like, let's do the
No.
do the shout-outs first,
That's
guys.
not how it works. Listeners, if you go back and listen to our previous, 55 episodes, you will see we shout out the person first.
Yes, we do.
Before we do the one-sentence summary.
Yes, we do. But that doesn't... All right, come on. Do the shout-outs.
Okay, so this was requested by Jeremy and by Chris.
Shout out to Jeremy and shout out to Chris.
Ew.
And as always, all of our episodes are requests from listeners and followers. So as we get them, we add them to a comprehensive list. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're picking all of our movies from. So none of these are coming directly from us. They're all coming from you.
So keep those requests coming. All right. One sentence summary.
Now that you've done a sufficient job of delaying the inevitable.
It's not delay. One sentence summary of Rush Hour. So if I just want to talk about it very broadly, which is supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing.
It's one sentence. Yes. Yes.
I was having such trouble with this.
It should not be granular.
Okay. A loudmouth screw up American cop teams up with a Chinese detective to find a consul's kidnapped daughter.
All right.
See, I did it.
You did. It only took about 3 minutes, but you did do it. And our American cop is played by Chris Tucker, who plays
Carter,
Detective Carter. And then obviously Detective Lee from China is Jackie Chan.
Yeah, so this movie, they had a part 2 came out in 2001, and they had a part 3 that came out in 2007.
Yeah, I didn't even really remember there being 3 parts of this, but...
Same.
There was like this one scene where there's like a kung fu fight in the middle of like a bathhouse spa situation. I feel like that was in part 2. And
Must be because it's not in this one.
And I really only remember it because they spoofed it in the Pastor Cavassier video. Everybody singing now. Pastor Cavassier. But I don't remember if that was in part 2 or part 3. I'm assuming it's part 2 because I really don't remember part 3 at all.
So your memory of Rush Hour 2 consists of Busta Rhymes.
Yes,
I just want to clarify that.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Chris Tucker,
Shout out to Busta Rhymes.
he's been in a bunch of things. He's been in Dead Presidents, the Friday movies, and he's been in quite a few music videos. He was in the Rock My World video for Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He also was in Mace's Feel So Good.
Oh, I did not remember that. I remember Mace having on that very shiny suit and dancing in the middle of Times Square.
He also was in California Love, Tupac.
Oh my God. I definitely don't remember that.
So he's just out and about in videos apparently back then. As far as movies, he also was in Silver Linings Playbook, if you've seen that.
I did see that, and I don't remember him being in that either.
Well,
Dang. I mean, when I think of Chris Tucker, I think of three things. Number one, I think of Friday.
Yes.
Number two, I think of this movie, Rush Hour.
Mm-hmm.
And number three, I think of the time I saw him at a girls' basketball game in the middle of Macon, Georgia.
Wait, what?
So there was a time in my former life where I was doing some freelance journalism and covering high school sports in middle Georgia. And I went to a game to write the article on it. And Chris Tucker was just there because apparently like one of his niece or something was on the away team. Like not even the Macon team.
That is so
She was
bizarre.
on the team from the visitors. And so he was just there and everybody was just like, "Oh my God, that's Chris Tucker." And then it just like halftime, everybody was crowding around him trying to get pictures, He was very nice. He was very kind about it. But it was just a crazy like, yo, Chris Tucker's at the middle of this like girls varsity basketball game at Southwest High School. It was very interesting.
That is random. All right.
Yeah.
I also wanted to point out, as far as characters, we have one of the quote unquote bad guys. His character name in the movie is Sang, and he's played by Ken Leung, and he is from Lost.
Yo, I keep looking at this dude while I'm watching this movie. I'm like, yo, where do I know this guy from? And I never watched Lost. So I don't know if it's that.
He was also on Industry.
Okay, I've seen that show. Yeah, he plays like the jerk boss guy. Yeah.
So like he's a face that like, you're right. Like you've seen him before, but it was hard to place. But yeah, he's been around for quite some time. And then Commander Griffin, who was like the only British guy in the film. He's played by Tom Wilkinson, R.I.P. to him.
Talking about Jun Tao.
No. Commander Griffin, the British guy. The white man, the only white man.
Yeah, the British guy, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was his other name. Yeah, that was...
He is Jun Tao.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Yes, you're correct. You're correct. He is Jun Tao. He was in Shakespeare in Love. He was in The Patriot, Batman Begins, and a few of the movies. So.
That's probably where I remember him from, the Batman movie.
Yeah, most likely.
And then Jackie Chan, don't bury the lead.
Well, yes. I mean, Jackie Chan has done so many martial arts type films. Rumble in the Bronx is like, I think, a big one that people think of when they think of Jackie Chan. Interestingly enough, he did the voice for this Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon for 5 years.
I like how I have a vague memory of this. So the funny thing, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, obviously one of the big things about Jackie Chan that everybody remembers is the fact that he is a stuntman and he does all his own stunts. So obviously that's a big appeal to all his movies, is like, you know that all the stunts in the movie that his character's doing is actually him.
Right.
And I'm watching this movie and I'm wondering to myself, why don't more stuntmen just act in movies? Like, I feel like the acting that Jackie Chan is doing is not like Oscar winning. Like, he's not like putting on like a great thespian performance. And I'm sure they could have more stuntmen who can do what Jackie Chan does just be in the movies. Like, why is he the only one? Like, I'm sure he's not the only one, but like, I mean, Tom Cruise does a lot of his own stunts as well.
He does.
But obviously Jackie Chan's a little different because he has like the kung fu background.
He's sick.
No, he's insane.
Like, very early on in the film, there's a scene where he is on this like large like ship carrying cargo, and he's kind of snuck onto it, and you see this one scene where he does this like weird side jump and he jumps sideways into a window. And I was like, how is he doing this?
Nah, he's doing crazy things the whole movie. And
It's insane.
I think that's definitely a big part of the appeal of this movie and also all the other movies that he's done is just kind of like, yo, what is he going to do? It's like, I can't even think of all the different stunts and tricks that he does.
Jumps off
There's the part where he climbs up the wall on some like
parkour
type stuff. There's the part where he like does the front flip and kicks the dude and then lands in the chair. That whole scene at the end where he's holding up the artifact and he's fighting off two guys at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, bro, yeah.
Even like his footwork, like he gets a gun between his feet and kicks it up and catches it, flips it around and shoots. And I was like, how? How is he doing?
Even
any
in
of
the
this?
bar when the guy has him in a chokehold and then he grabs the bar stool by his feet and flips it over his head to hit the guy in the head. It's like, nah, he's going crazy the whole movie.
The whole time. My jaw is just open. Like, I knew it was great, but then, like, watching it back, I was like, oh, this guy is, like, really something else. But to your point about stunt, I guess, doubles acting, I don't know. Maybe they have so many injuries, like, their faces are all busted up. They won't be good for the camera. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows?
It's just interesting that, like, the only other person I could think of is Tom Cruise, and he's obviously not a stuntman. He's just an actor who likes to do this stuff.
Well, maybe they don't want to do all the lines and stuff. They just want to do the stunts and be done. They're like, I don't want to be sitting in makeup for how many hours and doing all this stuff and
that part
memorizing scripts. Like, they don't want to do all that. Like, just let me get the action in and be done with it. So I get it. All right. I also wanted to point out, and this is just a random thought, but how cute is Soo Young, the little girl who gets kidnapped?
Yeah, she's very cute.
Oh my God. I could not. I was like, this girl is adorable. So Soo Young is the daughter of Consul Han. And Han is basically a Chinese diplomat. And he has this daughter, Soo Young. And we find out relatively early on that it seems as though Soo Young is being trained by Jackie Chan's character, who is Detective Lee. So he's been training her how to fight and how to, protect herself, essentially, which comes in handy when they try to snatch her. I mean, because she puts up quite a fight.
Yeah, she does.
A little girl. Of course, it's like a bunch of grown men with guns. They're able to eventually, snag her and kidnap her. And it becomes evident that what they want is $50 million from her pops in order to get her back. This is kind of when the movie starts.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is going on, we get a nice little sneak peek into the character that Chris Tucker is playing, Carter. He is a cop from the LAPD, and we've seen this kind of character before. He does his own thing. He doesn't really follow the rules. He's basically destroying city blocks whenever he tries to do something. And I actually wanted to give a shout out to Jeremy from Patreon because he sent in a message about one of the earliest scenes with Carter. So just for you guys out there listening, so you are aware, for those who are on Patreon, they actually get a nice little sneak peek into what movies Joel and I will be covering before we record it. And so they have an opportunity to ask any questions or, of course, just point out anything that they want us to talk about on the recording.
Or watch the movie ahead of time so that when we drop the episode, they have some context for what we're talking about.
Right. So I'm just going to read what Jeremy wrote because I started laughing. So there is a part relatively early on where we see...
It's how we meet Detective Carter.
Carter, right. He's out here and he's talking to this guy who has C4 in his trunk. And he's undercover. And he's trying to act like he's interested in what the guy has to sell. He's like, yeah. And while he's talking to the guy, two regular cops show up and see something going down, and they pull their guns out and they basically blow his cover. And when this happens, the guy who's trying to sell the bomb gets into the car and starts driving away. Carter is trying to stop him, and so he starts shooting after the car. And as he does so, the car just explodes. It blows up. And before it blows up, he shoots it. The guy who's driving the car opens the car door and rolls out into the street so he doesn't die. And so Jeremy says, the explosions are cool, but C4 doesn't explode when you shoot it. It's a very small thing, but it always bothered me, especially because a bomb expert is featured in the movie. And like, he's absolutely correct. Like, C4, like, it's a pretty strong type of bomb. And like,
it's the only bomb that exists in films.
Like, well, yes.
It's always C4.
And like, I actually was reading like an NPR article about it, and they were saying that like, you can actually shoot it with a rifle and like, it wouldn't explode. The only way that would happen is if you actually have to shoot directly onto the detonator, which is like a very small part of it. So like, chances of that happening would be extremely slim.
Right.
So that's number one.
Because that's the type of bomb that you could like home make, right? So it probably, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know about that. I just know that it's a very strong type of substance that you can't just, you can't shoot at it. It's going to blow up. That's not how it works. Although movies will make you believe that's how it works. In addition to that,
it made sense to me when I watched it. I don't know.
Jeremy said, and also, was Carter trying to kill the dude? Because if he didn't jump out of the car, he would have died in the explosion.
100% would have died. He didn't seem very concerned about whether or not that guy lived or died. It was like, oh, this guy got away. Well, I guess I can kill him now.
Yeah, which is like not at all how police, how they should work.
Well,
yeah.
You know, it's funny because I actually had a note in here about when the cops are at the beginning of the movie where they're kind of looking at him and they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? Put your hands up. Mm-hmm. And there's this whole scene where like he's trying to convince them to go away because he's really an undercover cop, but he doesn't want to blow his cover, so he doesn't say he's a cop. Meanwhile, the actual bad guy is just laying on the ground. They're arguing back and forth. He had been knocked out and there's a gun on the floor and he just picks it up and starts shooting the other cops. It's like, hey, maybe you should pay attention to this criminal who's on the floor. You had time to pick his gun up so he didn't actually shoot one of you and blows a guy's pinky off.
That's right.
But I'm also thinking, only in the movies do cops think twice about shooting someone, because that just never happens in real life, it doesn't seem like. But in the movies, they're always like,
freeze.
Hey, do not move any closer. All right.
Yeah. And they keep walking towards them, and then they end up taking their gun.
As soon as Chris Tucker comes on the scene, he's got his shades, he's got this, leather duster, and he's just very showy, he's very talkative, he's driving this very flashy car, which I'm not sure exactly how he afforded on an LAPD salary.
Right.
But he reminded me so much of Will Smith's character in Men in Black. Like, as soon as he got on the screen and like the way he was talking, the way he was carrying himself, the way he was like this, I'm a cop, but I'm cooler than regular cops. He was doing the whole Men in Black performance. It was the whole thing.
And then even after that whole fiasco happens, he's back in the office bragging to like his colleagues like, oh yeah, and then about 15 people got out of the car and I pulled my gun out and I stopped all of them. It's like, bro, none of that actually happened at all. But he's very showy and he does not care. He's unapologetic about who he is.
All he was missing was the bright yellow jumpsuit.
And the sad part was he actually had a partner and like completely left her and watching this movie back, I forgot this woman even existed.
No, I didn't have any recollection of her either. No,
I had no idea.
She's not his partner at any point in the film except for the very end.
Yeah.
And even then, she's really only there as like a guest to this gala. So even then, she's not really his partner.
But she's there because she's a bomb expert and she's there to get the bomb off the little girl.
Right.
So there's that.
And of course, it's the whole like, oh, she fails at this in practice, but when the real time comes and the girl's life is on the line, she gets it right.
It's like Armageddon.
It's very much like Armageddon, yeah.
What was his name again?
I can't even remember. Ben Affleck's character.
Yeah.
I mean, he did nothing but screw up the entire film, but when
it counted.
When the when society is on the line, the fate of Earth and all of mankind is on the line, and he nails it. I mean, she is able to save Soo Young, and I love this scene where she's on her way to school and she's singing Mariah Carey.
Oh my God. I wanted to eat her up.
Baby, I'm so into you. Darling, if you only knew all the things that flow through my mind.
She was just so adorable. It was a fantasy, right?
Yep. And I also love the teddy bear backpack.
Yeah.
OG classic.
Yeah.
Still see kids with them. Never gonna go out of style. Never gonna get old. So the whole premise of this movie is at the beginning of the film, we see that there's this Chinese mob that Jackie Chan's character, Detective Lee, busts. They had been not only engaging in plenty of illicit activity, but they'd also been stealing and hoarding a bunch of important Chinese artifacts that the detectives were then able to recover.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
So this is a big deal. And we see that the consul member, Consul Han, is being celebrated at this dinner along with
Commander Griffin.
Right, Commander. I
the
was
only
just
British guy.
the white guy. Yeah. And he's congratulating him and just telling him how great of a guy he is. And right away, again, this is not a movie I've seen very many times, so I didn't really remember the details. But right away, I was like, I don't trust this white guy.
Oh, you didn't trust?
No, I didn't trust him. I was like, I literally wrote down in my notes, I don't remember who this white man is, but I definitely don't trust him. Word for word. That's what
perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, something about him was just rubbing me the wrong way.
He was giving you like Littlefinger vibes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure, Littlefinger vibes, and it just didn't seem because like, why does he care about any of this? Like, what's the play?
Right. And we also learned very early on that Detective Lee is good friends with the consul because he shows up and like it's obvious that like again he's helping to train the consul's daughter, learn how to fight, and they go back.
Yeah, he's a trusted professional at this point. So it's like, if anything else, I know I have a man on the inside who's going to make sure he does right by me. And he has a whole relationship with the consulman's daughter.
So after the daughter gets kidnapped, the FBI gets involved because, I mean, this consul was obviously a huge deal. And it happens on American soil.
That's right.
And so when this happens, they're like, well, we're going to, do our investigation and figure out what's going on. But the consul's like, wait, I have a detective, Lee. Like, he's great. He's flying in from China. And the FBI's like, got this foreign guy coming in. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Bruh.
We can't trust him. And so they're like, we need to get a cop whose job is solely just to babysit this guy.
Not even just babysit him, but like actively keep him away from doing any police work. Like, we do not want him interrupting our important FBI case because all he's going to do is get in the way.
Exactly.
So, what are your thoughts on all of this? Like, as they're pulling out this plan, because mind you, Detective Carter is under the impression initially that he's basically being recruited by the FBI for a big case.
So excited.
So he's all gassed up and he's like, he's talking his talk in the police station. Oh yeah, the FBI wants me. I'm so nice. Only to find out that he's basically been put on a babysitting mission. So after we've seen that the councilman trusts this man who basically, like I said, was able to recoup all of these important artifacts. Mm-hmm. And now they're basically like, yo, get this guy out of my face. Like, how are you feeling about this whole situation as you're watching this? Again,
it goes back to this trope that I feel like happened a lot in the 90s with different police departments, right? Where it's like, you guys, well, in this case, typically it would be like the FBI versus the LAPD, right? It's like, you're small potatoes, we're the feds.
Right.
We don't need your help.
Saints.
Right. It's that kind of feel to it. But in this situation, it's more like, we're the FBI and like, you're coming from China. Like, you're foreign. You don't really know the ropes. And it's like, bro, this guy is...
I mean, they don't have crime in China.
Not to mention, this is the guy who busted this huge drug ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, he clearly like this guy knows what he's doing and he's a professional, but they don't trust it. And it's very icky. And also, I feel like it's not practical. Like, why would you not want more help?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. There's also a big, like, waving red flag when they're supposed to make the initial drop off. And he's like, yeah, meet me in this abandoned building on the 7th floor. And Detective Lee's like...
what happened was they
traced the phone.
Call.
They traced the phone call.
Like, oh, he's there. And it's like, obviously he's not waiting here for you guys to get here. Like, think about it. Like, if I'm a mobster, a big time international mobster.
If I'm not an idiot.
But
because I'm not a mobster either, and I would also know that the police are probably tracking my phone if I'm asking for $50 million from the FBI. Yes, someone is probably tracing where I am. That doesn't take the smartest mobster in the world to figure out.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, in addition to that, if I'm that smart, they send in a huge SWAT team of people, and then Lee's sitting there like, you guys, think about it. Why would he be in this abandoned building asking for that kind of money? Like, think. And they're like, listen, we don't need you here. This is the FBI. You know, it was
he literally tells them, do not send your men in there. He's like, well, get this joker out of here. It's like, bro, what are you talking about?
So
this is a terrible idea. You're the FBI. You don't realize. It didn't
make any sense. It didn't make any sense. They all go in there and they're like, wait, no one's here. It's empty. It's abandoned. Clear, clear, clear. And the phone rings.
Hey, it's clear in here. What's going on?
And then, of course, the bomb detonates and they all die.
Of course.
So the whole building explodes and they really died for no reason because...
Ah, damn it!
And the guy... But the guy who detonates the bomb is like right behind Detective Lee. He's just standing there peeking around the corner like, did it blow up? And I'm like... First of all,
he walks out of like a parking garage. It's 2 a.m. He's the only other person on the street other than the FBI.
It's like you could have been 5 blocks away and you would have seen the explosion. You didn't have to stand like across the street.
And then as soon as Lee puts eyes on him, he starts darting down the street. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, there had to be a better way. This guy sang. Gets away from Lee so many times. So the first time he gets away is the opening scene where he basically makes the bust
off the ship.
And he's trying to arrest Sang, and Sang is able to like escape in a speedboat.
Right.
Then he escapes again in this downtown LA scene.
Wait, can we pause here? Because this scene really pissed me off.
Which part?
Because
all of the men dying for no reason?
Well, no. More than that. So after Lee starts chasing him and Carter sees this, so he's like, hey, where you going, man? And he starts running next to him. That's my Chris Tucker
I like your Chris Tucker.
Hey, where you going, man?
I like that. Very well done.
So he starts chasing after him. And at some point, as Lee's running, there's like this wooden bridge that's kind of dilapidated. And as he's running, his foot gets stuck. And you see his foot fall through the bridge.
Oh, Lord.
And dumbass Carter sees it, and Lee's trying to wave him off, like, no. And Carter just keeps running, runs directly into where the wood is breaking, and they both fall through. God knows how many stories. They fall down. They're all busted up. And then I'm just kind of like, you didn't see that his leg was stuck? Like, he literally was not moving, like, up to his waist with one leg hanging through the thing.
He was in quicksand.
It made no sense.
No, he's like, I told you not to go. He's like, what? Man, I don't know what you're talking about half the time anyway, man. But also, they fall like 4 stories, and they're all just like, "Oh, that hurt," and then they just get up. And
there's a car there. They gotta roll out of the way. Remember?
Right. I'm like, somebody would have broken something. At the very least, their suits should have been ruined.
Well,
they were very dusty for the rest of the scene, and then by the next scene, they were fine.
No, but if you look, Carter was wearing that same Navy suit for like mad scenes, and it kept getting dustier and dustier.
Well, that was my thing. It's like, yo, these guys haven't changed. And at first I'm like, yo, is this the same suit? Like, why are they wearing suits at all? But then I realized, okay, he probably wore a suit because he was supposed to pick Lee up from the airport. He thought it was an important mission.
Big FBI assignment.
He's showing up as, a guest to the council member. So he shows up in a suit. So it makes sense for them to have a suit. But then I'm realizing, it's not that they're just wearing suits. This is the same day.
Yeah, but also, I feel like they had no change of clothes because not once did I see anybody with a suitcase or a carry-on or anything. So I'm like, do they have other clothes?
Although, I'm led to believe that, he lives there because they're in LA.
True.
But yes, Jackie Chan's character should have had some sort of change of clothes.
Wait, so I have like a really big gripe about when Carter and Lee first meet each other.
Okay.
So they start interacting. Carter starts talking to Lee, and Lee is like kind of acting like he doesn't really understand English.
Right.
And to be fair, like the way Carter is talking, I mean,
he comes off crazy.
I mean, Well, not even just that. It's like, in general, if you don't speak English and the person you meet is Chris Tucker,
Right.
like, that's
Come on, man, put your shit in the back. In the trunk, man.
It's like, what is this guy talking
What
about?
are you talking about?
I'm Detective Carter. Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So he doesn't understand what he's saying. And he realizes, like, oh, this guy doesn't speak English. He's like, oh. So then, to get him to understand what he's saying, he just starts yelling. And I'm like, that's not how you get someone who doesn't understand your language.
That's always the way to translate.
They just slow down and be like, I am telling you to get in the car. It's like, that's not, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. These are the days
always do that in
before
movies.
you had Google Translate. I don't know what people were doing out here. But yeah, this is not the way. Of course, we later find out that he speaks English the whole time, but that's besides the point. The point is, he's just like looking at him like, what are you talking about, bro? He's just like, do you understand the word that's coming out of my mouth?
And it's like, no.
It's like, no, brother, I do not.
I do not understand.
I do not speak English.
He's, all I know is Soo Young. Here's a picture of Soo Young. We need to find Soo Young.
Council Han.
Counsel it, Soo Young. That's it. So that actually had me dying. I'm gonna say this for later because I have quite a few things that didn't age well, but I'm gonna do them all at the end because I feel like it'd be better doing back to back. So you're talking about Sang and how he got away multiple times.
So he gets away at the beginning of the movie on the ship. He escapes on a speedboat. Second time he gets away after the bomb. He's able to like run away and get to like a getaway car. Mm-hmm. Then he escapes a third time at the restaurant.
That's right.
Where they have that whole showdown and they fight like half the mob and somehow everybody gets beat up except for Sang. As this movie's going on, I'm like, damn, like this guy is like the man. Like, how many more times is he gonna escape? And he almost gets away a fourth time until he turns back around to go get all that money.
At the expo. Yeah.
And that's what ends up getting him killed because he probably could have escaped.
He would have.
Like at that point, they weren't still chasing after him. They were trying to make sure that Soo Young was not getting blown to bits. Mm-hmm. And they were also trying to get Juntao, who was trying to get away on a helicopter. So like they're not
Juntao played himself.
They're not even paying attention to Sang at this point, and he could have just gotten away. But greed, man.
Well,
it's also a lot of money. So
yes. So I want to go back to what you mentioned briefly, the Chinese restaurant scene.
I mean, so many things about this scene make no sense.
The first thing that really didn't make sense to me was earlier on in the film, we see Soo Young before she gets kidnapped and she's interacting with Lee and she has this necklace that she wears. When we get to the Chinese restaurant, basically Carter and Lee are able to find out by like talking to other, people and informants and whatnot. They figure out basically where this bomb is held up, and they are at this Chinese restaurant. And when they get there, Carter comes in. He's like, being loud and being Carter. And there's a Chinese woman who's working as a waitress. But like she's wearing Soo Young's necklace. And so in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. So you have a consul's daughter that's being held here in the restaurant in the back. Mm-hmm. And you have the audacity to wear her necklace to serve an LAPD cop? Thinking that no one's gonna notice that you're wearing this kidnapped girl's necklace?
I mean, not to mention the fact that you're wearing it at all at work in the same building
at all,
where regardless of whether or not that, because at any point an LAPD cop could show up, whether or not she knew who he was or not. And I didn't really take note of that, but that's a good point. What I did take note of is after the explosion, and he's like, "Yo." Sang is talking to the feds and he's like, yo, like y'all sent mad feds to come get me. Like the ransom is now $70 million instead of $50 million. And we got this girl. And if we don't get this money, she's going to die. And then they're like, all right, fine. We'll make the drop. Where should we take it? And then he gives them this Chinese restaurant. And I'm like, wait a second. this is the same Chinese restaurant where the entire mob basically hangs out and has their headquarters.
Yeah.
And he's asking the feds to show up there to drop off money.
It didn't make any
Like,
sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all. That's basically like inviting them to your clubhouse and being like, yo, just drop the money off in the back. Like the FBI can just raid the entire place. That doesn't make any sense at all.
It didn't make any sense. And Juntao was hanging out there as well.
And it's also the same location where you have the kidnapped girl.
Because once they saw,
It's like, bro, this is a terrible idea. If you were trying to drop off money for ransom, you would not say, hey, come to my house. It doesn't make any sense.
But then, like, once Carter shows up and he starts ordering food, they realize who it is. They're like, get the girl out of here. And I'm like,
no, because remember, at this point, Carter and Lee had basically been, like, kicked off the case.
yeah, they're doing their own thing.
So they're now just freestyling, and they find out, through the C4 guy, this is where Juntao hangs out. This is that restaurant where they be making deals. So that's why they show up to the restaurant.
Ruined the drop.
They ruin the drop because the FBI shows up after them, and they're like, damn it, Carter. So then they're like reaming into him, but it's also like, bro, like, so this was the plan, was to just show up at the restaurant where all of the entire gang is.
Just have a shootout.
And they're just going to be like, all right, yo, drop off the money and then we'll give you the girl. Like, what? This makes no sense at all.
I don't know.
It should have been like a neutral spot.
It should have been, but clearly that was not what they
But
had in
yeah,
mind.
these guys are all idiots anyway, because after they like do a very poor job of kidnapping Carter, Lee's able to get in very easily disguised as a waiter and then just beats everyone in the gang up. So like, this is not the Crazy 88 we're talking about here. Like, this is not like, these guys are not on top of it.
I thought about that as well.
They got taken down very easily.
And they have guns.
And that's why Sang has to escape again. Because he's in his own headquarters for the gang that he's like basically in charge of, and none of them were able to defend him. Speaking of which, I mean, you talked earlier about the incompetence of the FBI, which I think is a running theme here. But at the beginning of the movie, when Carter basically tries to handcuff Lee to his steering wheel so that he won't leave, and he escapes anyway, and he basically shows up at where the consul's being held, the FBI, is able to evade every single FBI member, break into the house, take down and disarm all of the ones that are trying to stop him. By himself, he does this with no weapon.
And he gets to the console.
And then he's like, yo, like, they kept trying to keep me out. What's going on
Right,
here?
and the console's like...
So it's like, yo, you saw him do this. You saw him get in. You saw him beat all of your best men up. And you're still like, oh, this guy's useless.
Right. You should be like, oh, this guy is what we need for our team.
Yeah, it's like, that doesn't really seem like the real FBI or any other police force or like law enforcement. Like, if you see an asset like, oh, this guy keeps hacking into computers, what do?
They use him, yeah.
They use the guy to hack into computers for them.
Right.
So it's like, it didn't, and that's a criminal. This guy's not even a criminal. He's an actual detective who's been, the only reason he's in LA in the first place is because the consul member is telling you guys, hey, he's a really good cop and he can help the case. So after he is basically able to disarm the entire FBI, they're like, yes, this guy is useless and we don't want him helping us at all.
You know why? He's too close to the case. That's what they said.
Right. Of course.
Because he knows the little girl, so he's too close. So
because that also could not be an asset.
Well, yes. There are a couple more things that had me shaking my head. So a big one for me was when it came time to dismantle the bomb. That was on
at the end of the movie.
Soo Young, yes. Yeah. So they're at this they're at this Chinese expo, and we learn that they cannot simply take the vest off of her because it will explode. It has to be basically stopped first before they can take it off. And so this is where Carter's partner that we barely see in the film comes in as the bomb expert. And so she's at the back, and of course she's thinking about, like you said, I can't mess up like I did on my test. And so when she's looking at the 3 different wires and she's trying to figure out which one to cut, and she says, and as so for every line, it's like a different color chord.
Yeah.
So like it'll be like roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And then she cuts that one. So I'm like, wait a minute.
And so are
I'm like,
you?
wait a minute. She basically just played Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo.
Yeah, with that
to
girl's
figure
life.
out.
With everybody's life. Because they would have.
Yeah, because she would have died
Yeah,
too.
they would have. The entire room would have died.
I was like, that's how you dismantle a bomb? You just gotta learn the right rhyme and know where to start. So that was bizarre.
This massive strap of C4 that would have blown the entire room to bits. When Carter explodes the C4 on the street, nobody is injured.
Yeah.
The car just blows up, and
You're right. It was very minor.
yeah, that should have like taken out the entire block.
Well,
I just thought about that. It doesn't really make any sense.
no, it does not.
All right, well, whatever.
And then,
I mean, the real point of this entire movie is just watching Jackie Chan do his stunts.
absolutely.
So, like,
well,
none of this actually matters.
it's a mixture. It's Jackie Chan, but then it's also the interaction that he has with Chris Tucker.
Yes, I did want to talk a little bit about that.
That there's so many funny parts. So one part I want to talk about that they would never put in a movie today.
Okay.
But I have to admit, like, when I tell you I died laughing,
Oh, I already know.
I died laughing. So there's a scene pretty early on where Carter is basically telling Jackie Chan's character Lee that he's going to go around to different connects that he has to try to figure out if they've heard anything about the Chinese mob
Trying to get a lead
and about
on
a
the
little girl.
kidnapping.
Yeah, about a little girl getting kidnapped. So he goes to this pool hall and there's a bunch of black people in there. So Carter, of course, is black.
That ain't no cigarette, man. That's
And
cigarette weed.
he walks in and he's dapping everybody up. And he's like, basically saying like, hey, my nigga, what's up, my nigga? What's up, my nigga? Like dapping people up, going to the back. So Jackie's like clocking every time he meets someone. And he's
Nah, because he says, yo,
follow my lead.
just follow my lead. Like, that's the whole thing.
So then at some point, Carter goes to the back and he's like acting like he's like, LAPD, everybody put your stuff down. When in reality, it's like his cousin and his people hanging out in the back.
Yeah.
But he's like trying to front like he's this big cop and he's scaring these criminals. So while he's in the back, Jackie Chan is like waiting kind of like by
In a bar.
like a bar area
hall,
at the pool hall. So he's sitting in there and the bartender is kind of like, you know, like, do you need something? Like, what's going on? So Jackie looks at him and he's like,
I mean, you know what the line is. You know what the line is. You've seen the movie. You know what the line is. It's unforgettable.
he's like, what's up, my nigga? But it's like the way he says it, and the guy's like, what'd you just say?
It's not even the fact that he says it. It's the fact that he says it twice. And then the fact that he puts a huge grin on his face with it. Where he's completely oblivious to what's going on.
What's up, my nigga? What did you just say? What's up, my nigga?
It's
Because he
just
doesn't
like,
know. He just knows like that's how you greet somebody.
yo,
Like,
this
that's-
is what he said. I'm saying it
Bro,
too.
when I tell you, I could not stop laughing.
Hey, you better watch your mouth, man. And then the entire bar fight breaks out where he's able to beat up
Everybody with pool sticks and everything else. But I gotta say, like, yes, today that would not be in the movie. But I think what makes it funny,
Maybe.
what makes it funny also is like it's the A and not the ER. So like you're saying the A at the end, and also it's like he doesn't know.
I think it's the fact that it's Jackie Chan.
And he's
and
foreign. Yes.
and he has an accent.
Yes, it's all of those things.
It's not,
malicious in any way.
right.
Yeah.
And it's not like John Goodman or somebody. It's just like, no, bro, this is not funny at all.
You know what?
All right, maybe it is. I don't know.
John Goodman is definitely like America's dad. Like,
Yeah.
You know?
Come on, he's Roseanne.
well, we're not going there.
I'm saying
He's the better version
He's
of
Dan
Roseanne.
Connor.
Yeah,
He's the guy.
Yeah, I don't think it would have
Was
been.
he Fred Flintstone too?
He was.
Yeah.
And he was also in The Dude.
Of course. He was a lunatic in that movie.
Okay, so we're getting off topic. But that absolutely killed me.
The point is John Goodman cannot say, "What's up, my nigga?" That's the point.
And Jackie Chan can.
And Jackie Chan can. That's the point.
But then there were like other things that were said. I'll just go ahead and go through them right now. That like we're kind of just like, bro, this is too much. Like for instance, when you talked about the FBI not wanting them to help, when the guy says, "I don't need help from the LAPD or some Chungking cop," I was
Yeah,
like, what
that was not good.
in
That
the
made me
world
cringe.
is that? And then there's some like jokes where like Carter is like fighting with some people and he calls some guy rice-a-roni, which
Mhm.
I was like,
And sweet and
Okay.
sour chicken,
yeah,
something.
yeah, orange chicken. I was like, don't really care for that. And then it's one part that really reminded me of like 16 Candles was the very first time we hear Jackie Chan speak English is because he and Lee kind of get into a thing where they end up having like this face-off moment when they both have guns pulled against each other, and the cab driver pulls his gun, which is kind of funny.
That was funny.
And so when that happens, they both drop their gun, and then Jackie Chan speaks English for the first time. But the very first time he speaks English, a gong goes off.
Oh my god.
And I was like, why are we doing that?
Long duck dong.
And it reminded me of 16 Candles.
Long duck dong.
I was like, we didn't need that. We didn't need that at all.
No, you don't. I mean, speaking of things that didn't age well, the other thing I noticed was when he calls his partner and asks her what color her panties are.
Yeah.
Just not something you would probably put in a film today either.
He also joked about spreading rumors that they had sex during a Christmas party or something.
I don't think he was joking. That did not seem like a joke. That seemed like something he actually did.
He's like, sorry, I spread rumors about it, haha. And I was like, you always laugh when I do that. You always laugh at my Chris Tucker.
Your Chris Tucker voice is fantastic. I'm sorry about spreading rumors.
But it's like, bro, like that's not funny. Like I'm a woman in the police
No,
force.
that's not funny at all. That's
Like,
awful.
It's like you cannot spread rumors about having sex. Like that's not good for my career at all.
No, it's not.
So yeah, stuff like that was in there. But I also feel like when it's like a comedy, you kind of forgive stuff a little bit more.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's like this is all supposed to be in jest.
I also think you forgive it in the sense of, like, it's one thing for something to just be in a movie where it's like, this is kind of unforgivable because it happens and the movie is excusing it. I think it's different if it's kind of like a All in the Family type of thing where it's like somebody saying something awful, but we're also not painting this character in. Like, this guy is kind of supposed to be a jerk.
That's true.
So
That's true.
a lot of the things that he says, yes, they are not great in terms of being a misogynist or in terms of being a racist, but, or just stereotypical in general, right? But it's like, this guy's also kind of supposed to be a jerk and kind of like not that intelligent. And, you know, he's saying it all in a way where it's like, he's obviously playing it up for laughs.
There's also one more, sorry, before we go on. Because I was like, why is this even being said? So during the Chinese Expo, he basically tries to clear the room because he realizes the girl is there. They're trying to save her.
He
knows
the
them,
titties?
yes. And he starts yelling. He's like, everybody get out, everybody. And he's like, Teddy, get them titties out of here. And I'm like,
What
why?
does that even
Why?
mean? Get
Why?
them titties out of here.
And like I'm
Why did he
laughing
say
now,
that?
but it's so stupid.
Why
I was
did
like,
he
why
say
did he
that?
say that? Why was that the line? It had to have been an ad lib.
It was 100%
That had
an
to be
ad-lib.
ad-lib.
You think they wrote that in the script? There's no way.
And then
them
Carter
titties
said,
outta here.
titties. Get them titties out of here. So yeah, that wasn't great, but
No.
it was Chris Tucker. So it's kind of just like, this is what.
But you talked about like the whole Lee and Carter thing, and I feel like there's a scene before they go to the Chinese restaurant where Jackie Chan starts singing "War." What is
that
it
was
good
so
for?
good. That was so funny,
He's
bro.
like, "What are you talking about? That's not what are you saying? You saying you all? It's y'all." He's like, "Y'all, y'all." No, you gotta say y'all, y'all.
Well, it isn't good for absolutely nothing. Good God, you all.
It ain't you all, it's y'all.
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 You sound like a karate movie. Y'all.
Yo.
And then they're just like dancing around in the street, and he's trying to show him how to dance. And then Lee starts showing Carter how to do kung fu moves.
Yeah.
And it's just like that little like interplay between the two of them is actually like a driving force behind this whole
Yes.
film. Like it kind of
Yes.
makes the whole movie come together.
Yes.
It's the reason that there's three of them is like there is definitely a chemistry between these two guys.
Absolutely. And that scene,
and it's just fun to watch. Like, it's fun to watch the two of them just goofing around.
And then just seeing Jackie Chan singing and get a little snippet of his nice voice there.
Oh, his Beauty and the Beast voice.
He could sing, man. Yeah. And his Mulan voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was into that whole scene, like him trying to do like the neck swing and like
his dancing.
Because it was
so stiff.
It was so bad that it's just hilarious. But like Carter's not making fun of him. He's actually trying to get him to loosen up, and like they have this nice camaraderie. It's nice to see. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that scene for sure.
So of course, towards the end, there's this big expo. They figure out that. Well, no, they don't figure out anything, actually. They just realize that whoever's going to basically bring the ransom money is going to show up to this expo. So they bring, the partner who's not really a partner. And long story short, they come up with this plan to clear out the room. And basically anybody who has something to lose here is not going to leave. And it comes down to this big showdown between the FBI. Well, actually, Carter and Lee at this point are just working rogue. The FBI happened to show up because they're also scouting the scene. And basically a firefight starts where they're basically just blasting at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Carter's able to escape to try to get to Soo Young. But one thing that I noticed is there's this part in the firefight scene where basically both sides, the cops and the mob, are shooting at each other. Mm-hmm. And Jackie Chan, after they're able to disarm the bomb, he has the bomb and he's trying to dispose of it. But he notices that as he's trying to get away, all the artifacts are being knocked around, and he's scared that they're going to fall down and break.
Yeah.
So he's trying to save these artifacts, at the same time not get shot, at the same time not get beat up, and at the same time also trying to take this bomb out of the room so everybody doesn't die.
He can do it all.
He does do it all, of course, miraculously. I'm wondering why, though, in the middle of an active firefight, you're running around with a bomb and you're just placing it down on the floor to save some artifacts. I think there's more important things at hand right now. If those things fall down and break, it's fine. And I feel like they're trying to get across this idea of here's this Chinese man. He cares so much about his culture. He's not going to let anything fall. But it's what's more important? These artifacts falling or everyone in the room dying?
It's C4 though. So if you shoot it. So it's funny because in this scene, if you shoot it, you'll probably be okay. But in the earlier scene, if you shoot it, the entire car blows up. So I'm not quite sure.
Not to mention, one of the bad guys could have just picked it up. He literally put it on the floor in order to pick up this vase that was dropping, and then is kicking guys, punching them while he's doing burpees, trying to hold this thing up. And then he's just like, "Oh, that's finally done. Let me pick this bomb up back off the floor."
But then later on, he actually puts the vest on. Which was crazy.
He does.
I was like, what are you doing?
He puts the vest on.
He puts it on.
Oh my God, he does.
And that's when he ends up scaling up into the ceiling to try to get to Juntao, because Juntao has a helicopter that landed above.
He's like, screw this, come pick me up.
He's about to get out of here. So Juntao gets his half of the money. And I actually thought he was going to screw Sang and take the whole thing, but he 100%. Didn't. But he didn't. I was surprised.
I was surprised there was money left, too.
So he took his half, and he was heading up out, and then at this point, Lee is chasing him. And, I mean...
This is the most ridiculous part of the movie.
It's like, bro, just leave. There's a part where, Jackie Chan's character slips. He's, losing his grip. And Juntao uses the suitcase full of money to beat Jackie Chan over the head. And by doing so, the suitcase latches, comes unclasped, and all the money goes flying out.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, now you've done all of this for literally nothing. Literally nothing.
The thing is, you have the upper hand. You're on...
step on his foot.
You're on this walkway.
Step on his hand.
He's hanging off the side of the balcony. All you had to do was stomp on him or kick him so that he would fall. But no, your idea is to take a suitcase full of cash, swing it over the balcony, and bonk him on the head. It made
millions of dollars.
It literally made me crack up. I was dying because I'm like, yo, this takes the cake. This is by far the most ridiculous thing of this entire movie. Because that is not something that you would even naturally
No.
do. Even if it was a suitcase full of
Yeah,
clothes,
you wouldn't.
swing it over a balcony to
just
hit a person.
kick.
You would just kick them until they left you alone.
Yes.
He's swinging and hitting him with this bag full of cash, and then it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it opened up and all my cash is now gone. It made no sense.
It was great.
Oh my God.
He's falling to his death anyway, so.
You know what? And maybe this is me just like thinking
Did you
crazy
say
after
Two-Face?
seeing like Armageddon and after seeing Boondock Saints and Face Off and all these other ridiculous action movies, Speed.
MIB.
A part of me felt like when he fell into the water that the C4 was just going to explode.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't actually make any sense. But I felt like it was Face Off. He would have exploded.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It would have been like a huge thing of fire coming up to Jackie Chan's character.
Oh,
He had to,
yeah.
like, quickly get out of the way. Yeah, it would be a whole thing. For sure.
Now, we did get, when they're escaping from the restaurant, we do get an explosion where they have to jump while the explosion happens behind them, which is definitely
That's nice.
very
That's nice.
90s action movie
I mean, it's
coded.
fun to look at. You know?
The jump away from the fire explosion, yeah, that's definitely a big one.
That's fun. So at the end, of course, the good guys win,
They do?
don't they?
Yes, they do.
I'm like, wait, did I miss something?
They do,
You scared me.
and not to mention, he gets what's my man's name? Not Tucker. I mean, his name is Chris Tucker.
Carter?
Carter, yes. Carter gets an offer to join the FBI after he saved the consulman's daughter, and he basically tells them where to shove it and says, I'm not joining the FBI anymore, even though this has been my dream for my entire career. I am staying as an LAPD cop instead.
And that just goes to show that, like, now he has pride in his position, because earlier on,
He couldn't wait to leave.
he also was talking about how being in the LAPD is so bad because they're like the most hated agency in the world. He said, my own mom was ashamed of me and tells everybody that I'm a drug dealer.
Right.
Which is pretty funny. But also doesn't make sense because he was saying that his dad was also a LAPD cop. And that's kind of why he wanted to become one. So I'm like, why would your mom be ashamed if you followed your father's footsteps?
Well, the LAPD also, his job actually got his father killed.
At
So
a traffic stop at that.
So that's
yeah.
probably like the exact last thing you want your son doing.
Well, I would be afraid. I don't think I would be ashamed.
Yeah,
I think
that's
a
true.
little different.
Who knows? I mean, it's the 90s. The LAPD was not having a greatest reputation, especially now after 1992.
True.
And he has this whole backstory of basically trying to avenge for his dad. And I think he sees, at least in the early part of the film, like the FBI is kind of like a step up and a way for me to be, the cop that my dad didn't get a chance to. So he kind of is looking for an escape, it feels like. And then at the end, I guess after the FBI basically tell him to go away, he decides he wants to be a LAPD cop, which I guess doesn't really make a ton of sense because they also tried to get him to go away.
Yeah,
so
they
everybody was basically
they gave him this
spurning
BS
him.
assignment,
Yeah,
basically.
Like, nobody really wanted him, and then he saved the day anyway. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm LAPD." It's like all hated you.
You better take that pay raise.
Yeah, it didn't really make any sense. But again, this entire movie is basically displaying the FBI as being very incompetent. So it makes sense for him to not join them at the end because they actually don't do anything right at any point. Everything was solved by everyone else.
Yeah, it was Carter and Lee.
Carter, Lee, and his partner who disarms the bomb.
Yes.
Yeah. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm going to cut this cord. I hope you don't die. So, what did you find as the theme of this movie? It's a little tricky for me to come up with.
I feel like there were a lot of different themes that we kind of already touched on, if I'm being honest. Like for instance, it didn't really make a lot of sense. It's like people assumed because he's not from this country that he's not good at his job and he can't do what he wants. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, is this timely or what?
So, like, don't be xenophobic?
Yeah.
That's a good theme.
That's a good start.
That's a good start. Yeah.
And then also it's like, I feel like their ego got in the way a lot, the FBI. It was very much just like, we know what we're doing, like stay over there. And it's like, why would you not want assistance? Especially since this guy is coming from the country where the mob originates. And actually has busted these people before. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. I didn't quite understand where they were going or why they felt the way they did. But I think a big part is, again, is just kind of thinking like this person has nothing to offer. And I think at times we all have our biases. We might see somebody and think like, I'm smarter, I'm this, I'm stronger, I'm faster. But then it's like, this person probably has a lot of things to add. And if you just give them the opportunity to do so, you may be surprised.
Yeah, I had a similar theme. I think for me, it was from the sense of use your strongest assets. Like, you know, it's like a sports movie where you have like this player who's actually really skilled, but he has a bad attitude. So the coach benches him. And then when the game's on the line, he's like, you know what, son, go in. We need you. And then, of course, he wins the game. It's like, yeah, he's been good this entire film. I feel like this is very much the same thing. It's like Jackie Chan's character, Detective Lee, is very obviously the most competent person in this entire film.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, they did their damnedest to keep him away from actually getting anything done. So it's like when they finally, well, I wouldn't even say they finally got it together because they didn't. He just did it on his own. But like once he basically saved the day, then they're like, oh, wow, this guy's a really good cop. Yeah, he has been the entire film, but you didn't use him. So that was the biggest thing I feel like that stood out to me. It was just like, bro, when you have like assets, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what kind of predisposed notions or stereotypes you have, like if somebody's an asset, you have to use your asset. Like this is the whole thing.
Completely agree.
And I also think there's a theme there on a smaller scale about like how intention can be driven by emotion, because he is obviously working a lot harder than everybody else because he has a relationship with this girl. And I think that also drove a lot of his competence. In addition to the fact that he's a good cop, it's also like, hey, I actually care about this person. Even when they go to visit C4 Man in the prison and like Carter's trying to talk to him and he's not getting anything out of them. And then Lee like gives him this like emotional speech about like, yo, this girl's really important to me.
He shows him the picture of the girl.
And it's like, look at her. Tell me like anything that you know. Come on, this girl's life is on the line. And so I feel like that emotion also allowed him to like put in a little bit more effort.
That's true. So you're saying that it's better to do that than to, let's say, put a gun in someone's eye socket like they did in Face Off?
Well, I guess it really just depends.
All right, you want some facts?
I do.
So originally, Martin Lawrence was cast as Detective Carter, but he could not remain on the project. After that, they considered Eddie Murphy, Wesley Snipes, and Dave Chappelle.
I could see all of those guys doing this movie, honestly. I mean, Wesley Snipes is not typically seen as a comedic actor,
but that was the one that I kind of was like,
he could pull it off.
I suppose. I don't think it would be as funny, though.
No, it definitely wouldn't be as funny. But I feel like I don't think it would have been the same movie as Chris Tucker. Is just like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan was like perfect.
It was perfection. If you notice in the film, Lee doesn't actually kill anyone. He only removes them as a threat. It's very much like the Batman, complex. I always say Batman, but like, yeah, it's like he never wants to kill anybody. It's always just like
he's just beating guys up.
Yeah.
But it's really as a means to an end. Like, I'm trying to get rid of this bomb. I'm trying to catch this guy. I'm trying to get
into this house. Yeah.
But it's like, hey, I don't want no trouble.
Yeah.
That's what he says. The pool
he just like dismantles the gun with one hand.
Right.
Like, it's just, crazy work. So he did an interview back in 2002 for the Los Angeles Times and mentioned that he studied martial arts, acrobatics, tumbling for 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is like...
Wait, what?
It says he studied.
So he was just doing backflips for 18 hours a day and rolling around on the ground? Come on, bro.
That's what he said for 10 years.
I don't buy that.
That's what he said. And then he said, it said during the interview, very matter-of-factly, he listed a number of injuries to include a broken eye socket, a broken nose, broken jaw, sprained neck, damaged vertebrae, dislocated pelvic girdle, split skull, dislocated sternum, dislocated neck, broken toe, cracked hip bone, split upper lip, burned hands, and torn neck ligaments.
Okay, that I do believe.
Just matter of fact.
It reminds me of Mick Foley from WWF.
Oh my God, Cactus Jack.
Who like broke every bone in his body at different points in his career. I feel like him and Jackie Chan would definitely get along.
Oh,
They could probably exchange some interesting stories between the two of them.
I would watch that interview for sure.
That would be a good. That'd be two fun guys to have a beer with for sure. I'm sure they got some stories to tell.
Agreed. In that same interview, Jackie said that he does not like this movie.
Jackie Chan said that?
Yes.
Oh, why's that?
He noted, I don't like the way I speak English, and I don't know what Chris Tucker is saying.
I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even know what this movie's about.
He said it was really hard to film. He's like, I didn't even know what he was saying half the time.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. There's people who speak English who don't know what Chris Tucker's saying. If English is your second language, forget about it.
There's no way, right?
There's no way.
There's no way. The restaurant they were in, Fu Chow, is a real restaurant in Chinatown in LA.
Oh, that's dope.
And they said that they found the people from the restaurant found the movie experience to be very pleasant, and they actually put up a sign letting people know that the movie was shot there. So like they're like still lit.
That's fire. I want to go there.
Right?
I always love when you are able to see like stuff from TV and movies in real life, like the Cheers bar in Boston.
Yeah, that's always cool.
And stuff like that. I know a lot of different cities have like different artifacts. Like you can go to Chicago and see like the Home Alone house and stuff like that. But yeah, that's dope.
There was an attempt to create a TV show in 2016, but it only lasted for one season. It looked really bad when I looked it up online.
TV shows based on movies are like generally not a great idea. I mean, you can probably pull it off because this dynamic is really just like, the Chinese guy and the loud black guy. Like
that's exactly what they have for the TV show.
Like you could do that for a TV series, but it's not going to be very good.
Right. Well, right now there's the Equalizer TV shows on. Queen Latifah plays
Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Yeah. Two more. So the person who directed this film is named Brett Ratner.
Yeah, I know Brett Ratner.
So he said that he wanted to do a fourth one, but back in 2017, there have been multiple sexual harassment accusations from 6 different women.
Against Brett?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so don't know if that's going to happen, but
he's not. They can just get somebody else to do it, though.
They could. But I recently found out that he has since reportedly moved to Israel. I don't know. I guess maybe following the accusations.
Okay.
But he is set to direct a documentary about Melania Trump.
Okay.
So he found work. Despite the accusations, he's supposed to be doing a doc on her. I don't know.
There's so many things I could say.
I don't know.
I'm just not going to say any of them.
I have one last thing to know. This is really interesting. So I actually practiced saying this name correctly because I wanted to make sure that I said it right. This guy is, I want to say he is Chinese, but he was born in Vietnam. So his name is Se Nguyen. He collected all the reviews of Jackie Chan's Hong Kong movies after they were released in the United States, basically before Rush Hour came out. He put them all up online to start a website, which became the Rotten Tomatoes that we know today.
What?
Yeah.
So Rotten Tomatoes was created by a Jackie Chan superfan.
Correct.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a really interesting
and that was a
fact.
Se Nguyen.
All right. Shout out to Se.
All right. It is time for our
Rewind ratings. So, from a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being no, I do not ever need to watch this movie again. 5 being this has unlimited replay value and I'll watch this movie all the time. So, you want to take the honors?
Yeah, I'll go first. I really enjoyed this.
Okay.
I feel like for me, I have like a very like it can be very niche as far as like what I find to be funny sometimes.
Yeah.
I typically am not a big comedy fan because I end up spending most of the time just sitting there being like, that was dumb, that was stupid, and like
I'm sure the listeners are aware of that at this point.
yes.
They've heard your reviews of Major Payne and Billy Madison.
But I was laughing out loud throughout this movie. Like there were multiple parts where I was just like, this is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen it in a very long time, but it was still good. Even despite some of the things that did not age particularly well, I find Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan to be hilarious.
They do have really great chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like together, it just worked really well for me. And I feel like any other actor wouldn't have done it for me as much as Chris Tucker did. And like, I'm not even like a Chris Tucker fan per se, you know, but this movie for me, I really enjoyed. So the fact that it's a comedy and I was like literally laughing out loud throughout the film, I'm giving this a very high score.
Okay.
Also, I'd be remiss not to mention the fact that Jackie Chan is just ridiculous with his stunts.
Nah,
So of course, like just watching that alone, I was just like, wait, what? And I feel like I've mentioned in other movies where I'm looking at my phone, I have to remind myself to look up, like Andrene, you're doing a podcast. That was not even a thing here. Like I was so invested in the storyline, in the fight scenes, in the jokes. I was here. How long is this movie?
It's an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. Sweet spot. I mean, I'm trying to think of what other movies I gave a 5.
You literally said, I'm giving this a very high score, and then didn't say the score. That's what you did.
Because I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to do a full 5 or do I want to do like a 4.8?
You gotta say what you feel.
My initial knee jerk was a 4.8.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stick with my 4.8.
4.8. All right. Very high score for Rush Hour. I also really enjoyed this movie. This is like, I know this is like an OG classic where like people have seen this movie mad times. I haven't seen this like a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it maybe a couple of times, but it hasn't been for years. Like the last time I saw this movie was easily over a decade ago. So I didn't really remember the details. I remember like a few of the little jokes, like don't touch a black man's radio and stuff like that. But the plot line was kind of lost on me. I didn't really have any memory of the individual characters outside of Chris Rock. Well, he's not in the movie. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. But like Andrene, I really enjoyed this.
Did you laugh?
I think, yeah, I laughed. I think it also has like pretty high replay value where like it's an easy watch.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch it. You can enjoy it. You're not asking too much of it, and it's not requiring too much of you as a viewer either. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5, 4.5.
Nice, high score.
Yeah, pretty high scores around the board for Rush Hour.
This is a fresh Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah, right.
For the Rewind Rewatch podcast.
So if you have watched Rush Hour recently or just really enjoy or don't enjoy this movie based on your memory of it, please reach out to us. Let us know what your Rewind rating is. We can be reached on all social media sites at RR90spod. If you search Rewind Rewatch Podcast, you will find us on all of the Googles as well as all of the streaming sites. Mm-hmm. And don't forget to check out our Patreon and subscribe to that if you are interested in bonus episodes where we also cover movies from the late 80s and early 2000s.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. All right. Any final words?
I don't even know. Like I don't even know what to say. I'm not.
You don't know?
No, I'm not gonna say what's up, my nigga.
I thought you were gonna give us the Jackie Chan. I thought you were just gonna do a Jackie Chan voice. You're not gonna do it?
No, the Jackie Chan voice is yours. Like you have it.
No. The Chris Tucker voice is mine.
Oh, that's right.
The Jackie Chan is up for grabs.
I'm good. I'm good. Shout out to Jackie.
All right, I guess there's no final words today.
No, there's no final words. I got nothing for you.
All right, y'all. Later.
Adios.